Greetings, and welcome to another video. And today, I'm going to be doing something I haven't done in a while. I'm doing a review. Usually I review anime, but I decided I'm going to review a movie this time. A recent movie. A movie that I just saw in the theaters earlier today. Hence the AMC Cup. Mellow Yellow. It's good. Not Mountain Dew, but it's good. So, as you guys probably guessed from the title, we are going to be reviewing the Minecraft movie. This won't be too inclusive of a review since the movie itself isn't out yet. I will be discussing some scenes, so this will be a spoiler warning, but I won't go too heavily into it. So, let's let's go with the initial thing of the movie with the casting. Now, for starters, Jack Black. A lot of people from what I saw, had problems with him being casted because he didn't feel like he would be a good Steve, especially because he doesn't really have much in the ways of range with his characters, with the exception of Poe from the Kung Fu Panda movies, showing that he does have range. Yeah, but usually just with his voice. Yeah. But I thought he was an alright Steve. I would have probably casted someone else, but yeah, with the role he had, he definitely did pretty good. I wouldn't say say it took away from the movie in any consistent way. It was clear he was just having fun. Fun with the movie, and that did come across quite well. Yeah, with adding some liveliness to the movie. Then we got the highlight of the movie, Jason Momoa with his character. Yeah, whose name, like the rest of the characters, I cannot remember just because I suck at remembering names. And so I will not be giving names for any of the characters. So, that being said, he just plays a washed up gamer who used to be a champion, but yeah, but as his life went on, he lost it. He seems to still be good at games, but he is stuck in the past. Pretty standard stuff for this kind of for these kinds of movies. But it's a but it's a trope that doesn't really seem to get old, especially when done right. They gave him enough personality to where the character is memorable, and they gave him a fair mix of competency, with goofiness to where you genuinely believe, yeah, that he isn't helpless, but you don't, but you're still able to believe that he isn't, that he is going would have problems with what they gave him. Now you just got to forget that this is the same guy who plays Aquaman, and you have no problems. So on that note, the rest of the characters, I'm gonna go by them a little quickly here because their personality was a little down. Yet, we got a kid who's the trope of the creative kid who doesn't seem to fit in. Yeah, yeah, his older sister who's trying to raise him since their parents died in a way that wasn't explained. Yeah, who's doing her best but just can't seem to get it. To get the hang of it. And we got um a woman who's just there. She, she has hustles, as she puts it. That's kind of her defining character trait, other than being good with animals, which is because she has a hustle as a mobile zoo, which I didn't know was a thing. I've seen things where people bring animals for like a petting zoo, but but going for forward from here, from the characters, the villains of the story. Now going into this, I didn't know where they were going to go with for the villains because I usually try to avoid watching trailers if I plan on seeing a movie. I didn't know what they were going to do with villain. the villain for the story. I was kind of hoping they were going to go the route of Herobrine, because he's not technically in Minecraft, but he's affirmed condition in the Minecraft community of he is a part of Minecraft, if not in the game itself, through the community. But they ended up going with the piglins. Specifically, they created a character who was a ruler of the piglins. But she had her but she decided she decided to swear away the creativity that she had because she lost the Nether's Got Talent. That's a little bit where the goofiness kind of mm, takes over the seriousness of the scene to the point of where you kind of start taking the villain not as seriously. That's one thing I'll have to take away. Other than that, it's the standard thing. She's the standard villain of she rules with an iron fist, straight up stabbing one of the piglins for making a drawing instead of trying to find gold. One of her generals fails and instantly has him killed. Genuinely a decent villain. Not what I would have gone with, especially because because she's not an established thing in the lore that there is a sorceress ruling over the piglins. But it is a standard reason for why the piglins want gold so much. Having an evil sorceress who wants the gold telling them to do it. But at the same time, it kind of takes away from from the thought process of well, if they want they just want gold, so you can just trade with them. But so that's a little bit of a trade-off. But okay, going forth, there is a secondary set of enemies, or villains in this case, with that being the Illagers. They had to get to the Woodland Mansion so that they could find an Earth Crystal for the plot. And what happens? Instead of getting a cool action sequence of them trying to get through the Woodland Mansion to the treasure room and all that, we had Jason Momoa and Jack Black wearing mushroom hats, playing the saxophone, trying to make a distraction so the one of the kids can just sneak to the top floor of the Woodland Mansion so they can find the Earth Crystal. Yeah, but ends up not working out too well. Jack Black and Jason Momoa's character gets caught, and they tie up Steve and Jack Black's character, and have Jason Momoa's character have a wrestling match against the chicken jockey. Which, I mean, pretty much the only thing from one of the trailers I did see. They really put it into their promoting of it. But overall, I think it was a pretty weak scene, and I thought they could have done so much more with the Woodland Mansion than they did. So it was pretty anticlimactic. Then, from there with the villains, let's talk about the comedy, because this is primarily a comedy. They started strong with the recurring joke of Minecraft that children yearn for the mines. And, they have jokes here and there throughout the movie. Like I mentioned, it is mostly a comedy. But there are some moments where the comedy gets pretty bad. Like with the Elytra scene, it's pretty stupid. And there are some times where it's hit and miss, like with the first piglin general that gets sent after them. It's kind of hit or miss when whether the joke of his character lands. But in addition to that, Jason Momoa's character, like I mentioned, he's a mix of competent and goofy to the point of where he screws up, but he can occasionally do something really cool. He's the first character we actually see fighting back against the zombies. He knocks one down, swings one into a wall while turning so that he he doesn't get hit before he gets overwhelmed with zombies. But then suddenly, when he tries fighting it, that piglin general, suddenly he's incompetent again because he accidentally knocks out Steve, with his buckets, and then immediately starts losing the fight until eventually the Iron Golem saves him. Ultimate, which means it's kind of which means I means the joke of him switching from competent to incompetent, it happens pretty regularly to the point of where it's very confusing. And now, with that, let's talk about the action. There's a couple times where the fights are pretty decent. Yeah, especially the final fight where what they do is there's a piglin army, so they make a bunch of iron golems to deal with to hold the lines while they try to stop the villain, including one iron golem that has the swiftness effect in the form of boots of swiftness, boots with the swiftness enchantment that they call boots of swiftness. And it actually changed the design of the iron golem, giving it the winged feet like Namor has, which admittedly is pretty cool. Yeah. So, and going from there, the main problem I have is that have with this is, well, first off, one of the characters. Yeah, yeah. When he first found out how crafting works, he just picks a bunch of stuff out of his pocket, puts it on the crafting table together, and suddenly he creates a tater tot launcher, a gun that shoots tater tots. Look, I get being goofy, but that's just ridiculous. And on top of that, it just doesn't even fit with the aesthetic. I mean, yeah, he crafted it, uh, but going from that, next major problem was I had with it was Steve goes to face the final villain. Yeah, villain. Yeah, in full enchanted diamond armor with the diamond sword and all that. Rushes forward, screaming sneak attack, which was a recurring joke of his character in the movie, where he would just say sneak attack as he attacked something, even if it wasn't a sneak attack. Except, funnily enough, he didn't do it the one time he did sneak attack something. And immediately falls flat on his face, has his chest plate destroyed, and then the fight continues like that. The movements seem a little irregular, which sometimes can work. But overall, I remember having better fights with the toy diamond sword that I had as a kid. Not to say it was a bad action sequence. It's just, B tier maybe. Better than the lightsaber fights from the Star Wars prequel. I mean, Star Wars sequels. Nowhere near as good as the prequels. I'd say kind of like the lightsaber fight between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader in A New Hope, where it was there was enough some cool moves mixed in, but it's mostly just kind of lackluster to look at. But at the same time, earlier in the movie, Jack Black, yeah, as yeah, when he was playing Steve, I keep calling him Jack Black because he feels more like Jack Black than Steve. Fights a group of zombies, mostly barehanded, except for the first one that he stabs in the back. He and it was a pretty cool scene. Most scene mixing in a bit of goofy comedy, some pretty cool action segments, and one of my favorite tropes of dealing with zombies, where you lock their arm at the joint, rip their arm off, and then smack them with their own arm. And because it was done so goofily, it doesn't even seem like it doesn't seem like it's too graphic for the kids. But going forward, the action sequence is a little hit or miss, like I mentioned. Some are great, some are okay. None are particularly bad though. Apart from one scene where the two girls are walking through the forest and just casually attacking, yeah, the mobs with random with the shovel and hoe that they picked up. It felt not only out of character, but not not even all that and not all that cool, and kind of made it seem like the mobs weren't even a threat. And given that we they fight them seriously later in the movie, kind of takes away from that. So, now now let's talk about the pacing before I give my final conclusion. The pacing was weird. It was like 15 or 20 minutes before we even got to Minecraft, if we don't, except counting the opening of the movie where Steve talks about, yeah, how he got to Minecraft in the first place. Yeah. Then we get, yeah, get real life stuff for a while with the main characters that aren't Steve. Yeah, where we get Jason Momoa's character, yeah, yeah, life as well as the fact that he's getting evicted from his building. We get the yeah, yeah, the creative kid, as they call him, with his sister, that they're moving to town, having a new life, and how one of them's got a new job and the other's, yeah, going to a new school with and things. With the creative kid just straight up making an attempt at a jetpack, and then having to fall out for bail himself out of trouble after it accidentally blows up part of a building. And of course, introducing the fourth person, the girl who, yeah, does the mobile zoo thing that I mentioned. Yeah, just kind of introducing her character as well as giving a reason for her to be there. All that takes place before they get to the Minecraft world. Once they get to the Minecraft world, though, the pacing was pretty all right. Admittedly, it the pacing of everything happened a little bit fast once they got to the first village. Then as they after they left the village, the pacing from there was pretty fast as well. Yeah, up until they got to the final battle, where things seemed to slow down quite a bit. As once the battle itself started, the pacing of them establishing that they're about to go to the final battle to the actual starting of the final battle happened really fast. And then the ending went by in a flash of narration. But overall, there's nothing wrong with having a fast-paced movie. It's just that usually comes down more to preference than anything, especially if you're trying to have an action-driven movie. The only problem I see with the pacing, other than some things being 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 a little dragged out, some things going by a little faster than I feel they should, some action sequences that didn't really get the attention, some that got too much attention, all that. The only real problem I have is that the action kept getting broken up to have a side plot of the principal of the kid's school going on a date with one of the nitwits who stumbled into the portal to send him back to the real world. For those of you who aren't Minecraft fans, nitwits are what we call the villagers that have the green shirts. They're called nitwits because they're villagers that can't do any jobs. Those scenes were just kind of annoying, and they come out of nowhere. Yeah, and they don't really add to the story in any way. It's it feels kind of like it's just meant to be like a repeat of the same cheap joke happening over and over again. Yeah, throughout the movie, and they have a post-credit scene, which is just showing her and the villager getting married. Well, not getting married, but him proposing to her. The only thing I got out of any of this, in terms of enjoyment, was a single pretty good joke that's easily missed if you're not a Minecraft fan. It's the waiter comes by and asks if they're finished. Yeah, as in done with their food. And she, yeah, looks at him and goes, "No, I think he's Swedish." That's actually pretty funny because Minecraft was made by a Swedish guy. So, overall, that was the only real detriment to the pacing. So, now for my final conclusion of this movie. And I gotta say, it feels less like they were trying to make a Minecraft movie, and more that they were trying to make a family movie that uses Minecraft as an idea of what it's going to be based on. So rather than just trying to adapt Minecraft into a movie for the Minecraft fans, it's just a family movie that uses Minecraft, yeah, as its base. Which, you know, not inherently a bad thing. It's just if you are a Minecraft fan who is excited for a Minecraft movie, you're better off just looking at the hundreds of fan made movies, yeah, that Minecraft fans have made over the course of years in the popularity. Some of them get really good and generally are more Minecraft focused than this. Overall, my general ranking for the Minecraft movie is a 6.5. If I if it was out of theaters and I could, yeah, and I had, say, a DVD of it at home and I could fast forward through two or three scenes, I would probably push it up in my rankings to a 7, maybe a 7.5. It's not it's a decent movie. Some scenes, yeah, dragged it down. But overall, it's not bad. I definitely, yeah, give it a watch. And if you got kids, maybe the whole family's to get, yeah, families together one night of the week and you want to, yeah, do something together, maybe put it on. Yeah, you know, just make a night of it. It's good fun. Yeah, just if you aren't but if you are a major Minecraft fan who is excited that they're finally getting an official movie, uh maybe just maybe skip it because you it'll be disappointing. Almost as disappointing as the fact that Dan TDM had a cameo in this movie, but they didn't give him any lines. So, with that being said, thank you very much for watching. This is Randoman, signing off.